My lovely, lovely, wonderful people. A pleasant morning to everybody. All right, beautiful people. Maybe about 2 days ago or less, maybe a day ago, I don't know. I saw this gentleman that I follow spoke on something that sounds plausible. It sounds good, but not everything that is good is godly or right. Let me put it that way. So he was talking about, and I'm paraphrasing it so that you get the gist of it. It is almost or utterly disrespectful when you're married and you're begging, like money and so on, maybe resources from single people, and he was saying, what happened to your husband? So he's more than likely talking about the woman begging single people for help. I guess whoever it is that they know, whether they're single, whether they're married, yes or no. But he alluded to the married woman asking a single woman or whomever for financial assistance. Now, when you look at it in the natural, when you look at it on face value, what he's saying may sound plausible, because you're saying to yourself, you're not just now a single person. It's like two incomes, if it is that she's working, coming together. And notice I say if it is that she's working, because I know of situations. I know of two situations where the woman or the women were not supported by their husbands financially. They were not. Sometimes when we're on the outside, we see the glass as half empty as opposed to half full. And because we have never had the experience sometimes of being married, we make the assumption that once it is that you say I do, it must mean that you're getting financial assistance. The reason why a lot of married people probably don't talk, it is because it is embarrassing, it is humiliating, it is degrading to say that your husband is not taking care of you financially. Now, we know abuse to be psychological, what we call silent treatment. And you feel the energy of the silent treatment in a negative way. We know the verbal abuse. We know the physical abuse. Which sexual would fall under the physical? Because it's a physical and a psychological and an emotional. And we know of the emotional abuse and an emotional attack on the person. But there is also financial abuse. I remember listening to a pastor talking about, he was looking at, they were talking on a wide range of things and what can constitute somebody getting a divorce. I never forgot a psychologist, a very known and popular psychologist, had said, if you're away from your wife a year and you don't provide for her financially, he never even mentioned physical abuse, that if she seeks to get a divorce, it's going to be quick and easy. Because they can show proof that you have not been taking care of her. I know there are many, many people who are married and they never anticipated that the husband would not take care of them. It may mean that the husband fell on hard times. But there is something with men, not necessarily all men, but men in general. Men will look after themselves first before they look at you. They will. And if looking after themselves to them may deplete the resources, they will not necessarily do it, even if you are married to them. A lot of people feel that because you say, I do that, they're going to do husbandly things. Protect and provide, not necessarily. So it may sound good, people. It may sound good. It may sound plausible. But we have to be careful when we hear things that people, because he obviously is not a married person. You know what I mean? Based on how he speaks generally. As I said, it's somebody I follow. So he cannot understand the intricacies of what some people go through on a marriage. Neither do I. But what I do, I use my own life experiences to try and make it be a gauge or a guide in how I come across. And that is why the scripture says, judge not lest ye be judged. When you're ignorant, meaning when you lack knowledge of situations, it is best to keep quiet. Not everything that sounds good is good. And yes, you do have people who maybe they're avaricious, what we call greedy and craven, and just licky, nyammy, beggy, and picky. Not in most cases. The reality is that most people are not financially sound, even if they themselves had put themselves there. You see, I realize that For example, somebody can be a good steward at maybe managing people, but they may not necessarily be good stewards at managing money. I realize each area has to be treated differently. It's almost like life career path. You know what I mean? Somebody who may be a great lawyer could never go into the medical field. You may find something like that. They're not multifaceted or multidimensional, that we are multi-talented like that. So it's each area has to be studied, and you have to have the passion and you have to have the drive for you to be great and become excellent at it above the rest, a cut above the rest. So some people may, because most people were not trained to be financially sound, most were not. So some people may have put themselves in difficulties, yes, because they really were not trained and they don't know better. And remember that bad habits are very hard to die. It is something that is systemic in the blood. That is why you have a thing called generational curse. That is why you will find people not necessarily changing when you say, boy, talk to this man or talk to this woman repeatedly. They hear you, but sometimes because it is a part of who they are, it's habitual. It is very hard to change. So until they probably go below rock bottom and then they say, all right, I'm going to seek help to become financially literate. But in the interim, I need help at this moment. It's like a hungry man. You can't tell a hungry man. Well, you can tell him, but it makes no sense. I go and pray for you. You have to provide potatoes too, meaning food or resources to help them. And, you know, when I hear people talk about their self-made millionaires, billionaires, that's not true. That is not true. Somebody influenced you in some way, unless even if you grew up in the wild with animals, even at the roaring of the lion, me not go say barking at the dog, whatever the elephant, something did influence you. When you look and say, no, I don't want to live like animal anymore, something influenced you apart from you. So no one is a self-made millionaire, no matter how they think that they are. And they never had to ask anybody for it. Somebody assisted you in some way, whether it's mentally, psychologically, socially, somewhere along the line, somebody helped you. So with that reality, it is imperative, it is incumbent upon us as humans to execute compassion, to execute mercy. Don't just come to judgment calls. Even if it run across your mind, say, you know what? I know I've been through difficult situations. Had it not been for the prayers of somebody, or, you know, somebody's encouraging word, or somebody helping me literally, I would not be where I'm at presently. It doesn't matter if this person is single, married, disengaged, whatever it is. If they seek help from you and you're able to help. Listen to me, people. Whatever seed you sow today, you're going to reap it tomorrow. So if you don't issue mercy and compassion to people, whether they want to be married or not, it will come back to you. You know how many people are living in regrets? Do you know the number of people are living in regrets right now? I was talking to a friend who said, Toni, and I have so many regrets. So many regrets. And there are many, many people who are living like that right now. So when people come and they seek you, don't stop judging. Oh, you're married. Oh, she looks good, or he looks good. He's married. No, you don't know people's situation. People don't. If people were to really say, all right, let me show you what my life is like. Let me tell you, we would have days upon weeks upon weeks of bawling. You say, oh my God, this is your situation. This is what you're undergoing. People are this close to getting rid of their own selves. And it's just because of maybe children or spouses or friends or, you know, their religious affiliation that causes them to say, no, I'm not going to give up. So I don't think that was necessarily a good post to make. I mean, you can't tell people what to do. Again, yes, you do have people who are, but even those who may seem wayward and who, you know, even those who may seem wayward and they would maybe, you know, not follow the rules in order to be great. It may mean that they have undergone some traumatic experiences. Because people, in their hearts, there's some part of them that really wants to do good and live a good life. You know? So if you see people down on their faces and they come and they say to you, say, listen, I might look good, but things are tough right now. Help them if you're able to. Don't judge and say, oh, you're married, warm to your husband. You don't know. There are many husbands that are not supporting their wives, maybe because they can't or they choose not to. Because they're giving to their outside mistresses or whomever. You just don't know. be careful, because you don't want the same judgment to befall you. Guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. Give me one of those lions. Thank you.